Good morning. It is Friday. I'm actually heading up to see my daughter, but she doesn't get off till later on this afternoon, although it is already 11 o'clock. So anyways, we're going to keep busy. Maybe we'll go to an estate sale. Maybe we'll go to some thrift stores. Then tomorrow, for sure, we're going to go to downtown Arlington because there's some really good antique stores there. And there's a couple thrift stores there, and I always find really good stuff. In retrospect, there are so many things I should have bought at this estate sale, including that really cool green seahorse. I hadn't gotten to my booth yet and didn't realize that I had sold a ton of items there, and I could have definitely used some fill-in merchandise. Even the soap is antique here. Look at this. Found this in a box. Needs a price. This place just goes on and on. Now I could see why there's so many people still here. And this is brass. A very, very dirty brass, but I'm gonna take it. It's only $4. I'm gonna go stand in line now. First, I'm gonna go get some bags. So that estate sale was actually really, really good. You know, originally I had planned to leave the house at like 7 o'clock to be the first in line because they had some Staffordshire dogs and I really wanted them, but you know, ultimately I decided no, I don't need to wake up that early. But I'm really glad that I went. I was really pleasantly surprised with the pricing. A lot of things that I grabbed didn't have prices on them. And I think maybe that's what it was, because after the fact pricing seemed to be a lot lower than what things had, you know, pre-priced were. God, that sounds really confusing. So things that didn't have prices just seemed to be way more reasonable than things that had been priced like, you know, the day before or the week before. Anyways, now I'm heading north, and my gosh, it's already 1 o'clock now, so I don't know what time my daughter's going to get off work, but again, if we have time for an additional stop, we'll make one. Decided to make a quick trip to the Goodwill because I can't resist, but it's going to be a quick one. If I was Debbie from DIY, I would totally pick this up and redo it because it has potential, and so does this. That totally has potential. But I'm not quite in the mood as it is. Oh, look at this. It's a gigantic... For $1.99. It's not very well done though. Oh my gosh, what is this? It's a door? It's just a door. It's an altar. That is an altar for ancestors. It is really cool. So I found this for $5.99. I mean, this is not for the reset, but I like it. And then this bowl is $7.99. It is really nice, but it would take up a lot of room on my shelves at the store. Is it worth selling? I don't know. What is that? Oh, that is really pretty. $3.99? Yes, I will totally take that. So look how pretty these are. I love that blue. They're $5.99 for a set of 4. Not quite like the brilliant pink that I'm looking for, but very pretty. Oh, and these are really sweet too. Look at these gorgeous cups. I have to get these for the reset. So it is the next day, and I have a quick news flash / PSA. So I just left the AT&T store. Now, if you don't know this, I worked for AT&T / Singular for 16 years. So I know wireless. And one of the things that I avoid like the plague is software updates. I typically will always turn off in settings automatic software updates, but I just got a new phone and I didn't do that. Anyways, yesterday I get to my daughter's and my phone was going dead, put it on the charger. It had already gone dead. Woke up the next morning. I could not get my phone to turn on. No matter what I tried, it would not turn on. I started to panic. I went to Arlington. I went to my favorite little antique mall and my favorite thrift store, my favorite junk store. I bought a ton of stuff, but I didn't get any footage because literally my phone was dead. So I didn't even get to film. So, word to the wise, turn your software upgrades off, at least until you can figure out if they're going to cause a bug, because that's what it was. Basically, he told me the last software upgrade caused a bug. So anyways, long story short, I have a haul for you, but I don't have that much footage. So I totally apologize. Apple needs to do better. They need to do better. Like, that was really terrifying. 2 days before I leave for Mexico for a month. What if it would have happened in Mexico? So I bought these 3 very, very old vintage slips in Round Top, and they were heavily stained, as you can see in the footage. Very, very badly stained. I'm sure they were going to wind up at the landfill, but I have a vintage linen cleaning hat for you, and I really wanted to share it here. The first thing you want to do is find yourself a very large stock pot, as big as you can get, and then fill it not to the top, but maybe 2/3 of the way up. Put it on a stove to boil. Then you want to put that pot in the shower or in a bathtub. You want to grab 1 full scoop of OxyClean, and then you want to toss that right into the stock pot. It's going to boil over like a cauldron, like a witch's cauldron, as you can see right there. And then you want to go ahead and submerge your vintage linens into the pot. And then you want to get something like a broom
broom handle. In this case, I'm actually using a metal utensil to kind of get the clothes down into the pot to have them be fully submerged. I usually like to soak my items for about 24 hours, and then I just basically let all that ugly water go and down the drain, and then I kind of hand wring the items, and then I run them through a delicate cycle in the wash. If it's sturdy fabric, you can actually put it in the dryer, or you can line dry your items. So look how great these turned out. They are absolutely transformed by that OxiClean method. I mean, it's just like night and day. Now this one still has a little bit of spotting there, as you can see. And I could actually run it through. You can run them through several times. Like if I wanted to get these even whiter than they already are and get this spot out, I could do it again. I'm not going to, but if you wanted to, you could. So just an amazing transformation of these slips. So I apologize for the lack of footage, but I hope that little hack on cleaning linens will be helpful to you. It certainly was to me, and honestly, it's awesome to be able to pick up linens stained or not. So before we get into the haul, my name is Abigail. I own a vintage and antique store in Poulsbo, Washington. I have an antique booth in Seattle, Washington. I sell on almost all the major platforms, but my favorite is Etsy at the moment. And you can save 15% off by using coupon code LOVEITBUYIT on both Etsy and eBay, and it saves you 15% on your total purchase. And if you are on Instagram, I am too. So you should totally go follow me there as well, because I post content every single day. Now, without any further ado, let's get into the haul. I'm going to start right here. That estate sale was packed with people, and people were really hauling stuff out. So for my Bridgerton reset, I got some beautiful pieces of painted porcelain. There's this one. And so if you caught a previous video, it was very common to basically have young ladies of a certain economic stature. They would have like different hobbies, and one of their hobbies was painting. Now this one actually says hand painted on the back, so I'm wondering if this was actually made in a factory. Anyways, it was really lovely. There are so many of these type of pieces out in the world, though, that they are really still so inexpensive for as pretty as they are. And maybe there will be a rush on these type of porcelain pieces. I really hope so. I mean, it would drive the prices up, but you know, I feel like they're undervalued. So here's another piece, and what does this say? So this is a Limoges piece. So it is also hand painted in a factory, but look at the beautiful purple hydrangeas. It is so sweet. I absolutely love this. This was meant to sit on a vanity, on a dresser top. And it probably had other pieces with it, like probably a piece to hold your hair that fell out of your head, and probably like one for talcum powder. Anyways, there would have been other pieces to go with this, but it makes a beautiful dresser table now. And then, oh, it's stuck over there. I will reach for it in just a second. So I got 3 similar pieces. The one is behind me, and these were only $3 a piece. So how could I say no? They're going to look beautiful in that new display. I love a good mortar and pestle. I didn't notice that it had some water damage there, but this is a wood one, and these are unusual to find. It really has a rustic, primitive look to it, which I love for my booth. I paid $8 for it, but the fact that it still has the, which one's the pestle and which one's the mortar? I always forget. I think this is the mortar and this is the pestle. Anyways, for $8, I thought that was a good deal because I could easily put $30, $35 on this. Also for my booth, I got a couple of Crocs. I did pay up a little bit more for this one. This one was $15, but I love the form of it because I think it's perfect in a kitchen to hold like wooden utensils. So I thought it was really gorgeous for that. And yes, it was $15. So, I mean, I will probably put like $55 on it. And it is an old one. It's not a reproduction. You can find those in a reproduction form, but usually it's pretty easy to notice which ones are. And then I just got this little simple Croc. Now this one was actually in the kitchen holding wooden utensils. And I paid, it wasn't priced, so I paid $2 for it, which I thought was a really good deal. Continuing on with my estate sale finds, this is stunning. Look at this cane. So it looks like a tiger's eye. Maple, it could be like a finish on it, like a painted finish. It's hard for me to really tell, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And what I really love about it is this Rockingham pottery piece on the top. And look at the brass detail on it. I mean, it is really stunning. Again, this one did not have a price, and so I got it for $4. And I thought that was a really amazing deal. These look really great in like an English Ralph Lauren country house setting, like standing by the front door in an umbrella stand. They just elevate the space in a very subtle way. So absolutely thrilled to get this. So I'm not sure if this is Dansk or not. It is marked made in Thailand, but it looks very much like a Dansk. It is dirty, it is thirsty, it totally needs like wood oil, but it is really cool. These caught for a lot of money, as you saw, and it is actually an ice bucket, and it is an old one. So I was super happy to get this. It's probably the one thing I paid the most money for this whole weekend. So I paid $22 for it, but that is a steal if it comps for as high as the listings show. I love a good little pillow, and they have been selling like crazy. So I thought this one was really sweet. It isn't a needlepoint, it's actually like a velvet, but the flowers are so wonderful on it. I mean, it is an oldie. It's got a little bit of wear right there, but it is so cute. And then look at the back. It even has a really wonderful cotton back to it. So really love this one. I paid $5 for this. And then I also got 2 sets of these hand studio pottery pieces. These are particularly beautiful. So I would use these to actually serve things in, like on a table for a family dinner, but you could also use them as like soup bowls or cereal bowls. They are marked on the bottom, and these are gonna go to the store, but I absolutely love the colors on this and the glaze. And then these are really wonderful too. And these are also studio pieces. I don't think it's the same maker. It says DS on it, but really love these. And each of these bowls was $3 a piece. And we'll probably put maybe you know, $16 to $17 a piece. So those were a good buy. Again, stoneware sells so good in my area, sells so good in my store. So I was thrilled to find it. It's been a while since I've picked up salt and pepper shakers. I had to buy these. I thought they were just adorable. They're these little fishies and on these little waves, and these were made in Japan. Whenever you see vintage salt and pepper shakers, more than likely, if they're vintage, they were made in Japan. I paid $6 for these, and we'll probably put $16 on them. That's usually what we charge for these, but I don't know what it was. I could not leave these behind. So moving on, my very favorite thing that I got on this little sourcing trip is this mushroom pillow. Oh my gosh, is this everything? Look, it's got all these different types of mushrooms. It's got a little butterfly. It's in really great vintage condition. It's got this gorgeous velvet backing on it. Now, oh, look, it's got a little ladybug. So, because this pillow is really unusual and highly desirable, we're gonna put $60. I say we because Keegan, my old employee, is actually listing items for me. So we're gonna put $60 on this because I think it's well worth it. It is a very rare, very unusual piece. So my gosh, somebody's gonna be thrilled to get this. Probably one of you, because you guys really snapped up all the pillows from like Texas. I don't think if I have maybe one left, I would be surprised. Like to buy a lot. So for the Bridgerton reset, I got these beauties. Aren't these lovely? This is a Florentine frame. I'm gonna keep the art in the frames because it fits the style of the reset. This is also a beautiful one. This is not marked Italy, but it totally has the same vibe as this one. So he originally wanted $10 a piece, but he gave them to me two for $10. So that was a super good deal. These were also a wonderful deal. These are like little ice cream or sundae cups. I got a set of 4. They were only $1.25, you know, and there was more of these. I don't know why I didn't grab them all, but these are also for the reset for $1.25. These are beautiful Depression era glass with this pressed design on it. I don't know what the name of the design is, but I absolutely love these. I would love to eat some ice cream out of these, wouldn't you? I also found myself a little sconce shelf for the reset. This green is not bad, but I'm definitely going to paint it to match the curtains and the pom-poms that are going to go on the curtains, or I will just paint it gold. So I'm not quite sure yet, but I was happy to find this, and I think it was like $6, so it was a good deal. So here's the other little tray that I got at the estate sale for $3. It is really sweet, and it looks like the design looks like a piece of fabric that has been kind of thrown on a table, folded over, a piece of paper that's been folded over. So it has these really asymmetrical lines. That is extremely unusual for a piece like this. Usually they have very standard shapes. So this is a very non-standard shape. So at Sassafras, I got this gorgeous, oh, what would you call this? I'm going to call it like a glass, just a glass bowl. But this is a crystal piece, and it was only $8. Again, this is going to go to the reset. It's not marked or anything, but it probably has, there probably is a name for this design. I just don't know what it is. But it is really beautiful. It really sparkles in the sun. And these are not old, but I thought they were really sweet too. So there are these little crowns, and you could put little votives in them, or you could use them as like little trinket dishes. And I want to say that these were $2 a piece. So these are going to the reset. And I don't know what it was. I could not leave this little bunny behind. He is so sweet. Made probably to hold toothpicks. I don't know how vintage he is. I get the feeling he's not very vintage. He just looks vintagey. So this one's actually gonna go to my booth in Seattle because I think he would be a good addition there. Other item I got from my favorite dealer at Sassafras is another really unusual piece. So look at this. It's a shell, right? And then you turn it over and it is hand painted on the inside. Again, I have never seen anything like this. I was just so fascinated. Unfortunately, I can't even tell you what I paid for it. They always take the tags off at antique and antique malls to give to the dealers. So they took the tag off and now I can't remember. I want to say it wasn't very much, maybe $5 or $6, but I don't know. I found it to be really intriguing, and this is going to go to the reset. And then at the picker store, I got this Brutalist fruit basket. I just really like it. It's hard for me in this area to find like mid-century modern pieces, modernist pieces, brutalist pieces. So when I do, I'm really thrilled. So I picked this up. It was only $5, which was a really good deal. That's gonna go probably online and to the store. Well, thanks for joining me on this weekend's thrifting adventure. If you get a chance to get out and do some thrifting yourself, I certainly hope the thrifting gods will be with you, that you find some fabulous stuff, and otherwise, I will see you on the next video.